Hello and welcome to Kidder Farms. We are finally here. Hopefully things are working. We have just a couple of technical difficulties as we're getting everything set up here. Nothing horrible. However, I had to reinstall the expansion here the last few minutes before the stream, so I'm just letting that finish in the background while I get everything set up. And hopefully this is going to go pretty quick. You know, the preview version isn't a console thing, but I'm pretty sure Premium Expansion is going to be available on console. I do have to apologize right out of the gate, though. I thought I was getting better, but apparently I'm getting sick again. So my nose is going a little bit crazy tonight, and it's been unfortunate. I'm tired of being sick. I won't lie. So I just started getting better, and now we're sick again. But it is what it is. I've got the expansions installing here now in the background again, and we should be into the game in just a minute. This didn't take very long last time. How's everyone doing this fine evening? Waylon, good to see you again, man. South Park 48, how you doing? Chad, good to see you. We've got SK and Livin on the staff team over here. And we are going to be playing around with our Thrustmaster setup again in this stream with the wheel cam. They asked me to give it a try for a couple of videos, and I said, yeah, that sounds good to me. So we're going to try and put ourselves through the paces again tonight, and we're going to be trying out the new map, the new equipment, and just seeing what this new expansion's all about. I'm not expecting it to be my style of gameplay, which should make it quite hilarious, I'm thinking, as we try to plant and harvest these new vegetable crop types, but we'll find out. I think you need 2 good thumbs to take it to the next level. Poor SK. We've been beating up on him in staff chat tonight. Having a bit of a rough day. Let's see, I'm going to put this down here. Chris, how you doing, man? The Giants patching system. So I usually use Steam to play the game and manage everything, and I've noticed here that all of the early access stuff can only be applied through the Giants software version of the installer, and this installer is particularly slow at downloading stuff from them. I think it might have something to do with all their download servers being over in Germany or something, but it's taken just a minute to get through this process, unfortunately. I had thought that I had it installed correctly, and then I accidentally reverted my installation back to the non-early access version. So I had to reinstall everything from the ground up here in the last 15 minutes or so. But luckily, all the stuff I'd already downloaded worked fine. It just has to re-go through this last little bit of the installation part. But we're almost there, folks. In fact, it's saying installation successful, but it popped up behind the progress bar screen, so I didn't even see it. There we go. It's always something around here. Let's launch the game here. And let's see if I can get the streaming set up, flipped over. We'll run with the wheel cam again. And hopefully tonight I'm going to remember that I have a crash counter over here, because I think we're going to need it. Okay, game. Come on, pop it up. It's recreating a signatures list file. I don't know what that means, folks, but bear with me for just another moment. The progress bar is moving across the screen again. Parsing files to update premium expansion.dlc. We just installed the update. Why is it? Oh, cool. There's already a patch available for the expansion. Who would have thunk? So we're patching the expansion before we've even got a chance to really play it. So there may very well be a day one patch here. Oh my goodness, another minute and a half to go. All right, well, we'll switch back over here for a moment. The latest patch caused some startup issues for you today, Tim. Yeah, I had some issues as well, which is why there wasn't a video launched for UMRV. I think I had some mods that did not handle the patch that came out. When did that come out? Friday? Did they release the patch? I can't remember. But it continued the streak. I have yet to have a patch for FS22 that did not break my game in some meaningful way, which is really unfortunate. You know, I really want to be more positive and support the company. You know, I've loved playing the game for years now, but come on, guys. We can't patch the game without breaking people's save games. And I'm saying this as somebody who's in software development as a full-time job, so I'm a little bit frustrated. Game development at that. Farmer Trio, how you doing, man? 35 seconds remaining. I also have the new Case DLC installed. The well, I guess it's the International Farmall 100-year whatever. I'm not sure what that's going to be, but we're going to check that out as well. And I keep looking over here. You guys are looking at the side of my face. Let me see if I can, at least while we're doing this, I'll drag you over here so I can look at the camera. Matthew, how you doing? I am doing well. I might be a little nasally today, but we took some meds right before the stream. I've lost my water bottle. And we're going to get through it because I'm kind of curious to see what all the hype is with this expansion. All right. I love contacting the person who breaks the build. Always a fun time explaining that they really broke the build for everyone else, even if it works for them. Yep, exactly. And we've got a little bit of that going on right now on the American farmer side of things, too. Or American farming. My goodness. We were just talking about how often people make that slip, and now it's in my head. So we are... we're getting close to launching American farming here as well, which is what I was doing right before the stream while all the installing was going. So let's see if this is going to pop up with the game now. There's the game. What do you know? And I see FarmSim audio should be coming through. Now let's see if I actually have Premium Expansion maps. I do. Well, we're going to go with the new farmer setup so that we can guarantee that we get a farm. And let me just check. I picked my nothing but the bare bones mod folder, which I think these are just my mechanical mods, so hopefully none of these are going to have a problem. King Sim, did I get a new recording studio? No. I usually run a green screen. I usually have the camera on the other side. And I have a green screen on this wall that you can't see right now. And then I had to switch it up and move my computer to be able to get this camera that, where's it at? It's up here for the showing off the SIMTASK controllers and stuff. One of the things that Thrustmaster asked me to do is while I'm showing it off for a couple of streams to make sure that I show a wheel cam, let people see how it looks and works. And so I rearranged everything. And so I'm in a position now where I had to put the camera over here. I don't have a green screen and it's all crazy. But I've been recording all of my FarmSim videos on this. It's like a race setup for, man, probably the last 6 months or more, you know, earlier this year. And so I like it a lot. The only downside right now that I have, this is probably my only complaint with the Thrustmaster stuff so far, is this thing sits off of the desk. Really, you know, it's a good foot off of the desk where the normal steering wheel would sit, you know, kind of set into the desk. And so I can't scoot my chair back far enough to get in and out without banging my knee every time. But other than that, I've been loving it. So we are here. This is a Polish map. I wasn't even going to try and pronounce the name of that. So we're going to be good. We've got a few fields on the starter farm here. Lots of really straight square fields on this map. I love all these strips of fields like that. Now, I will say I've spent quite a bit of time over in Eastern Europe, and a lot of their fields do very much look like this. They do like to line them up like that, so it's not terribly unrealistic. Maybe a little bit square. And then we've got what appears to be the one-row harvester here. We've got, I think this is a planter. I'm not even sure. We've got so much new equipment to check out. We're going to jump in here and take a look, though, and see what happens. We are going to be giving ourselves some money and trying out all of the different equipment tonight. Maybe even just jumping into some of the bigger equipment. I just want to take a look in here and see if I can find if there's a new category for this new equipment that's not just in planters, because I didn't see anything in the planters area there. Vegetable technology, perfect. We have got the ridging tools. So there's a couple of those. We've got a planter for planting vegetables. We have a top lifting harvester. This is a very narrow, 0.8. 0.8. Yeah, these are all one-row versions. And then this must be a two-row version. And then I suppose we'll have some vehicle versions of this as well. Interesting. Do we have a nice self-propelled version? We've probably got a vegetable technology in here. We do. Look at that. Okay, well, first things first, we're going to need to give ourselves some money so we can really play around with all the stuff that's in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do it right now. We're going to give ourselves $10 million. And I apologize, while I get all of this set up, it might take me a minute to get back to chat, but I will be answering questions, and I'll jump into anything anybody wants me to check out, and we'll do all that. We'll even drive around the map a little bit too. Got an achievement for giving myself money. That's awesome. I think that's the keyboard combination for the store delivery mod. I'm going to get this widest ridger. And then I'm going to get the big planter. And I say big with air quotes. It's big. And we're not going to get another one of these pull behinds. We've already got a small one. We'll get one of the self-propelled ones just to make sure we've got something. I'm going to want GPS on this thing, I'm pretty sure. And let's see what that does for us. We got this nice Fiat tractor we could jump into. I think I'll leave that on the wagon here. I'm looking for a keyboard here. We're going to need a tractor of some kind. I'm just curious what's in here. I don't need something probably that big. We're playing with tiny European equipment. Premium Expansion. So that is one of the Premium Expansion vehicles. Up to 180 horse. And then I'm guessing the new farmhall stuff is going to be down here somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and find that. And we'll buy those pieces too. Premium Expansion. I don't know what that is. Let's take a look at that. That looks kind of cool. I'm going to buy one of those too. It's super tiny. I'm not seeing these case tractors though that we should have unlocked. Oops. Let me come over here. I want to make sure that I didn't accidentally not check the box on those. Platinum, premium. Huh. Well, they're not large tractors. I know that. Well, we'll jump back out and look at those in a minute here. Let's get going with some of this. one last thing. I'm gonna look in here. How much horsepower did this thing require? 70 and 270. Wow. That thing's a little bit beefy. Let me get in here 160, 150. I'm going to need a large tractor actually to pull something that's 270 probably. You know what? We'll get one of these. I love it. It looks ridiculous. We'll go all the way up. I don't know what this does, but we're going to get it too. I do have precision farming installed. Let me... Oh man, I don't remember what the command is for that. We've got millions of dollars though, so I can just buy it the right way. Purchase soil information. And then let's make sure we know what's in these fields. It looks like I've got something planted in field 53. I don't think it's anything important. We'll probably end up just planting over it. It looks like it's wheat. Yep. And then this one's empty. Oh yeah, we're gonna be good to go. Use one of the new IHs. Yeah, I didn't see them in the mod list, but I know I've got them installed because I saw them earlier. Where's my new big tractor that I just bought? Oh, there it is, hiding behind the harvester. Alrighty. So I've got the joystick all set up. Let's do this. Swamp Fox, how you doing? King Sim, I should buy a Kubota. I could. We're gonna need some more stuff eventually here. I just want to get moving on stuff, and I feel like I always spend way too much time trying to pick my equipment, when really what we're trying to do today is try out some of the new vegetable mechanics and stuff. Oh wow, it's a little bit lagged jumping into the cab here. Because I'm doing such a better job backing up here from in-cab. There we go. And I'm gonna take this right on out to this field behind us and get started, if I can find a way to do that without having to back up and go forward a million times. And I'm a little bit concerned at the slight drop in frame rates there as we pulled out of the farm. This is a normal map without a lot going on. Let's unfold this thing. And I think, well, we'll start it the old-fashioned way first here. So I've got all my controls over here on the joystick for raising and lowering and all that good stuff. I'm gonna be running this like so. I am gonna use some GPS tonight, because otherwise that's what happens. Let's see, GPS on, auto width, AB line. You know what I didn't do when I installed the new version? And we'll have to go do this. I didn't go in and reset all of my dead zone settings on the steering wheel. I love FarmSim for that. It's so much fun having to reset my dead zone settings every time you patch the game. Let me see here. What's going on? Am I missing all of the chat? Raise it up, spin it around. Hey, there's collision on the poles. Wouldn't be a stream without a crash counter. And let's see here if I can... I need to put a GPS button on the controller over here. That's the next mapping thing that I have to do. Luckily, they've given me a file with these and in part of base game, so I guess I'll plug this right now at the beginning of the stream. So Thrustmaster was kind enough to send me all of this gear to play around with and test out. And they are going to be launching this on Monday to coincide with the premium expansion that's coming out. The premium expansion, if you do want to pre-order it, if you see something you like, you can pre-order with the link that's in the description of the video here. And if you do it today or tomorrow, you'll still save 5%, which is like $1. But if you already got the year 2 pass, this is included as the last update in the year 2 pass. So you won't need to buy this if you've already purchased the year 2 pass. It's $19, I think. I can't remember for sure. But you'll save like $1, so it might be $9 actually. I think I've said the wrong amount there. I think it's like $9. I'll have to look in a second here. Whoa, we're all over the place. So yeah, all of this stuff is going to be coming out on Monday though. We'll get this going. I'm going to. It's $20, King Sim. There you go. Maybe I should know these things before we stream. But I'm going to alt tab here real quick. I'm going to get I have an info sheet to keep me honest, and I didn't pull it up ahead of the stream here. I'm probably driving all over the place. I know. I'm coming back. DLCs. Yes. Okay. So it is normally $19.99 US dollars, and it's on sale for $1 off right now. So if that dollar is important to you, you can pre-order today and tomorrow. And if you use the code, it does help me out a little bit. It comes out on Tuesday. Can I not do math? What day is it? It's the 11th today? I thought it came out on the 13th. Does it come out on the 14th? Or is it one of those things where it comes out on the one day in Europe, but it comes out technically the evening the day before in the US? The joystick you can't use with an Xbox, unfortunately, Gortmaker, but the steering wheel should actually work with a Xbox. And this kit for flipping the steering wheel up like this will work with the T128 or the T248 Thrustmaster sticks or steering wheels. Let's see here. Zoom out a little bit. I have to say, I don't use them a lot, but they are becoming more and more common in the US. I'm starting to grow on these Kloss tractors, or the Kloss tractors are starting to grow on me, maybe I should say. They're pretty cool looking. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to turn off GPS for a minute. I'm going to hire a worker to keep going on this. And I'm going to run over here and we're going to grab this other tractor and we're going to get that planter set up and start planting behind it, because I'd really like to get this going and then speed up and get the harvesting mechanics moving at some point here. So this is a ranged tractor. This is a great thing to show off this joystick with. So on the left here, it's set up to be my gears, so I can go up and down in my gears through gears 1 through 4. I have a button that'll shift between forward and reverse. And then I also have a button here, the right side toggle, which changes my range. Oops. And so I can get up into second range. This tractor has 4 ranges, so we'll leave it in second, go in reverse. Let's see if I can get all hooked up here. Perfect. Now, I do not have any seed in here. Is there... There's these little tiny seed boxes, or is there something that I'm going to need to hook up to this? There's an awful lot of hoses and stuff on this. I feel like I need something to go along with this, but maybe I'm mistaken. Let me just look here real quick at what's in vegetable technology. I don't see anything in here. Let's see if in the pallets, if there's like a special vegetable pallet. There is. I'm guessing that's what I need for seed. Oh no, that's empty. Maybe it's just regular seed. Let me buy some seed. We'll find out in about 10 seconds. Okay, we're all good. Oh. And there's a few new vegetable types here. I think I'm going to grow carrots once we get this thing all set up here. This does not appear to be... Oh, I've got the boxes are showing open right now. What are we saying? Exhausting? What? I'm missing all the chat here. Do you know what the dealership is? Yeah, I'm not driving back and forth from the dealership all the time. That's gonna make it take forever to get anything done here. So my boxes opened up when I got to the seed here, but it's not loading the seed. So there must be like a different type of seed available here for us. Let me just look here at these to see if there's like a specific vegetable seed, or maybe I'll just buy these vegetable plant pallets. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna buy one of these too. I think these are for when I harvest. Yeah, that's an empty pallet. Oh, and we've got weird settings on. Let me change that real quick too. This is game settings. Let me turn off automatic engine. We'll put that on normal. And I'm gonna turn those off. There we go. Might as well get rid of these two. All right, saving this all up. There has got to be something that I'm missing for this planter setup. Vegetable. Where'd my vegetable technology go? We've got this. I feel like there's an attachment that goes on the front of my planter normally for this. It's been forever since I used this stuff. And there's probably like, what is that? Isn't there a combination button normally? But there isn't anything for this, right? So I'm not seeing, like normally there'd be a button down here if I needed to buy something to go with it, right? Like for this, there's combinations, which is, but for this, there's nothing. So let me go, can I go here? What was the brand of that planter? That was a Keverland. This thing? Nothing. Maybe I have to have it unfolded. That seems reasonable. Yeah, if this doesn't work, we can always fill it up with easy dev tools, I suppose. But that seems ridiculous. And to close and to open. I don't have manual attach on or anything. Let me just see what happens if I tell it to fill. Yeah, I can fill it that way. Well, that's really bizarre. Why can I not put seed in here? I mean, it clearly detects the seed because the boxes opened up when I backed up to it. I'm gonna have to play with that some more, but let me move around here a little bit. I don't see any, like, triggers or anything specific. I mean, maybe I have to pick the pallet up and hold it over these little tiny boxes. That would be very weird and not like any of the other planters in the base game. I know that can't be the right way to do this. Well, obviously it's not the right way to do this, but I want to get this planting, and then I will hook something up to that other one, and we'll try it again with the other planter and see if I can figure it out. This fruit cannot be planted in August. That's another great point. What do we got here for a timeline? Oh, of course, they start you in a time that you can't plant anything in the game. Interesting. I should have started in spring. Well, let's go ahead and fix that. What's a good time to be? If we go back to April, we can do that. How do I do that? Here? April it is. Problem solved, folks. So what I'm curious about now is how much seed we use doing this. It doesn't look like a lot. I'm trying to line up with my ridges here. Not doing the greatest job of that. And of course this thing doesn't have GPS. We go in cab here, I can stay lined up probably. Can't even see the equipment though. But it does seem to be planting. You can see the ground texture changes just slightly. It darkens a little bit when you're planting, which is kind of cool. So let me start this off. We're gonna let him go. I'm gonna go grab the other tractor and we're gonna go back over here and I'm gonna get that other little planter and we're gonna play around with it and see if we can figure out why we can't fill that up with seed, because that's quite concerning. There we go. This thing's got an interesting transmission. I don't know what the S and the H are supposed to signify here. But that gets clipping. Oh, we got a little dirt track here to run along the side of our field. And this looks like a drill of some kind. Kraken, are you planning on going back to SASK? Yeah, at some point. It's life's just been stupid busy the last few weeks. My wife's been overseas taking care of her dad, who's in the final stages of terminal cancer, which is unfortunate. And so I've been on my own with the kid and just crazy busy. We're trying to finish American Farming right now as well, and we're getting really close to having that released. And I've just been running around like crazy the last few weeks, so I'm just keeping up with everything I've got going on right now. I'm not quite at a point where I can run multiple Farm Sim series back to back. Okay, so, oh, well, this one's got stuff in it already. That's unfortunate. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do the opposite on this one. I'm going to come in here, and we're going to blow everything away in this. Now we're empty. Let's go see what we're going to figure out with the pallet of seeds here. Here we are. Maybe R is just not my refill key anymore. Maybe something got unmapped. Let's take a look at the controls for a second. Where would that be? Probably under vehicle. What would it be called? Not change seeds. Like, I feel like it should be in this section here somewhere. Like I would expect it to be called like fill or refill. Standard gear and high gear, maybe? That might be Tim. Dump side, lower. Dump on ground. Front loader controls, crane. Gearbox. Lights, radio. This is all like the expansion stuff. Bale stacking, arena. Now I'm down into like mods, which it shouldn't be down here. So what am I missing? Where's the refill your thing? It's R by default, right? I'm not losing my mind. Nothing. Interact, no. Use object is R. Tip side. BXYZ. I don't know, like it's always been R. And R is definitely not doing anything right now. And I don't see like anything up here for in the controls menu. Normally wouldn't there be a hint for refill seed? Maybe you can't fill the seed until the release. I know, I'm like, this is really bizarre. I mean, B is to turn it on. That's not what we want. It's unfolded. The cover's open. I mean, I'm sure we could... Do I have super strength installed? Oh, I don't. I forgot to install the lumberjack mod. I've got easy dev though. Can I turn super strength on for easy dev? Super strength on. Like, I don't think these will do that. Let me buy a pallet where if I hold the pallet above, wouldn't that like drain into it usually? Where's my pallet? There. So that works. But unfortunately you can't R to fill in these things as far as I can tell. That's so bizarre. I guess I should probably be a good citizen and write a bug report up for that. Let me take a note. I'll be a good partner. Can't refill planter. Refill planter from seed on pallet. There we go. We've taken notes. We've lost you, chat. Where'd you go? There's chat. Okay. So, cool. Well, one thing down. Let's get this out of the way. And I'll just drop this right here. We'll go ahead and pick this thing up. This tractor's a little small for this trailer. I'm sure it'll be fine. Now, my question is, with this ridger, and I don't need to drive this out here right now, I'll shut it down. With the ridger that we've got, that thing's so small, does it work on non-cultivated soil? Like, can I just toss this thing right out into the next field and have it start doing ridges? Or am I going to need to do tillage first? That's my question. There's a 3-point pallet lifter that angles the pallet up. That seems ridiculous. I will take a look at it though. Let's see here. We're gonna try this. This does not work, so I do need to do some tillage first. Is there a help file on this, maybe? Let me take a quick look. I'm curious if they've added anything for the new vegetable stuff. I don't see anything in here for vegetables. Grain crop, catch crops, grass, root crops, I guess would technically fall into that category. Maybe there's like a new, premium expansion, root vegetables. Before sowing, it is now possible to create ridges. This new step not only makes the vegetable field look more realistic, but also adds a fertilizer stage. Okay, I wonder how that works with precision farming. The cultivation itself, as with previous root crops, requires specialized seeding and harvesting equipment. The seeds can be planted directly into the ridges. Unlike before, the planting rows can realistically be laid out in straight rows and at 90-degree angles to each other. Oh, that's interesting. We'll have to try that then on this next field. But yeah, it's not really telling me I have to do tillage, but obviously I do. So let me go find us a piece of tillage equipment here real quick. I think this is going to be the kind of thing where we have a lot of different pieces of equipment going, and you kind of follow along in each of the stages. What does my fertilization look like out here? Bad, as expected. So that fertilizer stage benefit is really only for not playing with precision farming, which I suppose makes sense. But other than making it look realistic, it doesn't give you any in-game bonus if you're playing with precision farming, is what it sounds like to me. Now I've got this piece of tillage equipment right here. We should be able to grab. And we'll get this going out in this field here real quick. I guess I've got a regular harvester here too. I could be getting this wheat off, but I'll be honest, I want to play with the new vegetables. I don't care about the wheat enough to let that go. Today is not about playing normally. It's about trying out the new game mechanics. Let's drop this thing down. There we go. Now we're trucking. This thing has not got the horsepower for this piece of tillage equipment, though. That's okay. We're gonna just let him go and do his thing. Hey, Caitlin, how you doing? Bonus points if any of you know why hills are necessary for potatoes. That's something I used to know. I actually, we worked right next to a big potato farm at one point when I worked on the farm in Minnesota. So one of the things that they're saying, though, is that I'm going to be able to do ridges that go sideways to the other thing. So, like, I can do end rows in theory, which will be interesting to try out in this next field. It's because they like lots of water, but they rot really easily, so the hill lets it drain and air out quickly. That makes a lot of sense. Let's get lined up here. So our tillage tool, we're gonna, whoops, I forget this hasn't got gears. We gotta use the brake pedal to go backwards. So let's see here. While that's not working, oh, I know why it's not working. And maybe I didn't need to do this. Hang on. This thing has to be powered by the PTO. I don't think I need to be doing tillage. I'm gonna go on the other side and try this out real quick. This is going to make so much more sense if this works. Nope. It does need tillage. Well, that answers that question. I thought maybe because I didn't have the PTO going, it wasn't actually doing the tillage for us there. But maybe that was all in my head. There we go. Yep, it's working over here, but not on the other side. I dig it. Well, let's let this guy do his thing. While I come over here, I think we had another ridging tool back up at the farm. Maybe not. Let's go see. We'll jump in the truck here in a minute and tour around the map while we let the workers do their thing as well. I'm so glad that they drive on the right side of the road in Poland. I don't have to remember that we're, you know, one of those weirder European countries. Let's see about getting this combine out of the way, though. Power up. It's because they like, oh, I read that one. 7R would work, but with all the money I have, why not just spring for the 8RX? There you go. I'm gonna find a nice out-of-the-way place to leave this thing, I think. Got a chicken coop over here as well, and that's cool. It's probably why they start you with a field of wheat, so you can actually feed them. And let's see, that's a harvester. Oh, I guess I didn't have a ridging tool already. I thought we had like a smaller one. This is a drill. All right, perfect. And let's see here. Oh, we are getting ahead of the tillage. Come back. You're gonna have a problem. So what I'm curious about now is I want to see how this is going to work if I ridge the other way. So actually, I'm going to do that on this field we already planted. We're going to run the ridger through again and see if this works. And I can put a headland pass on that goes the other direction, because I'm pretty sure that's what the help file said. Turn it on, drop it down. And yeah, I can make these ridges go the other way, which is kind of cool. I might have to run the planter back over this. I'm not sure. We'll go see. I will say, though, 6-row equipment. I'm not going to want to do huge fields with this. Although it goes pretty fast, I guess. How did I get this much money? I gave myself $10 million at the start of the stream so that we could play with all of the new mechanics. Alright. Dropping it down, turning it on. Here we go. I don't know how realistic I have to be on keeping this thing in the ridges, but we'll find out, I guess, when the crops grow. I don't think I actually have to do this. I think it's still maintaining the planted state from before. I guess we could test that on the opposite headland if we wanted to actually see how this all works. There we go. I'm gonna just park this guy right over here to be ready to start planting when we eventually catch up with everything. Here we are. You're doing your thing. I don't need that. Let's take this thing for a spin before we take off. What's in-cab look like on this? Nice. Alright, this has got gears. I wonder if this thing had a front loader option or something that I didn't pay attention to. Oh wow, this thing will get booking. 18 miles an hour, I like it. Let's see if I pick up this little forklift thing. If this will connect on here. Oh wow, that's going too fast. Oh, it will. Look at that. Although I don't know that this raises things up high enough to get it in the planter, but I can probably use this to move the pallets around at least. I think this is more likely to move the potato boxes than pallets of seed, but we can do what we want. If I lower this down. Oh, that's right, well, I'll get this out of the way. I like that it's articulated, so it makes getting the forklift to move around actually not too bad. And off we go. Well, this works actually pretty good. Yeah, it's not too bad for a nice small farm. Be able to pick a pallet up and tool it around a little bit. We'll drop it right here on the patio, because that's the best place for it, right? There's that. And off we go. Awesome. I like it. Let's go look at what the options were for that in the garage, though, real quick. Oh, I can't do it there. I always forget. Can I do it? Do I have mobile workshop? I do. Customize. Nope. No options whatsoever. Okay. It is what it is. In real life, we planted first and hilled them after. Really? That I didn't know. For some reason, I guess I always thought the hilling was done as part of the planting process. Like, either you hilled beforehand and then the planter stuck them in the hills, or the planter itself was making the hills as it dropped them into the ground. I thought it was one of those two things. I didn't realize that you hilled them after you planted. We've got everything turned on. So let's go ahead and do this. Perfect. Whoop, we're off by a little bit. So I can get lined up over here. Oh, we're missing a bit. Yeah, it looks like it's working out. This was back in the 90s. You know, some parts of farming have changed, but some things are likely not too terribly different from then. Most of my experience on the farm comes from the same time frame. It would be the mid-90s for me. I am on the wrong keyboard keys. There we go. Yeah, this thing's not very lined up at all. Wait, stop. We're gonna put a different crop in over here. I don't know what the white looking carrots are. Parsnips, maybe? We'll plant parsnips. I noticed that precision farming hasn't been updated yet, so I don't have a variable seed rate for parsnips either yet. I'm sure they'll be bringing out an update for that, though, at some point. Let's actually get lined up here, too. That should do it. We're gonna end up with like 5 feet of carrots there if we do it this way. All right, let's do it. We'll plant it manually. I thought the helper could handle it, but apparently not. we go. Planting. And now we can hire a worker. Good deal. Once we get these two in, I'll go ahead and move time forward. I want to get into seeing what harvest is going to be like in all of this. You have to, I don't know what all these achievements are, folks. They're things that I would have gotten in Steam a long while back. The planter does create hills, but not very pronounced. That makes sense. Okay, so I've got sideways rows. I've got planting going on here. We've got all three workers out in the same field. Let's clean up the yard a little bit here. I'm going to get this off to the side. We're gonna take this is gonna be part of, if I'm not mistaken, this whole setup. Maybe, or maybe it just unloads into a trailer. Doesn't look like there's any kind of a hopper or anything on these, which is probably not gonna be fun. This thing maybe has a capacity to it. I'm not sure. Let's find out if we can at least move this around and unfold it. Is this the unfold button? There we go. Oh, maybe we should get past the building before I do that. Oh, look at that. Doesn't look like there's really much of a hopper in this thing. Looks like it more comes up on that conveyor belt and gets spit right out. We'll find out, I suppose. This will be interesting. What's it look like in cab? Look at all those cameras. I can't wait. Someday, some version of FarmSim, we're gonna have actual cameras like that in the game, and we'll be able to see what's going on, and that will be really cool, actually. But for the time being, I don't think we're gonna see anything like that in this or the next version of FarmSim, if I'm being honest. All right, well, that's definitely cool. Nothing to see or do here, though, so let's run over and get this a little tractor out of the way since it's about done doing tillage, and I can probably start my planter off now. We'll do that as soon as we get to the end row here. Cletus used to hill corn in the 70s. That's what we did. The farmer I worked for in the 90s, it was called it ridge till farming, I believe. And so I would run through with we called it a cultivator, and put ridges up early on after the corn was up a little ways and apply kind of a side dressing type deal at the same time. And so that's how I grew up farming in my teenage years. No capacity on all but one of the trailed harvesters. Yeah, that's what I have guessed just looking at them, is that they either dump right into something or you're using those wood pallets to load up vegetables. Oh, I did start the planter. That's why we're running into each other over here. Looks like the AI workers got a little smarter. I was expecting him to crash into that pole, but he figured it out. So if we jump in here real quick and look at vegetable technology, we've got, no capacities on those. This one has a 5.5 cubic meter capacity. It's a single row. So you got a one row harvester with a little tiny capacity. Oh, that's going to be crazy. And then if I look in here, oh, I got to go to vegetable technology. This thing does not have a capacity either. So you'll never be able to drive this if you're a console player. You're never going to be able to drive the harvester? Is that right? That doesn't sound right. how would you drive this and have, I guess, multiplayer? Like if you're a solo player, you would have to set a worker on this so you can drive the wagons next to it if you're on console. You'll never be able to drive the harvester unless you play multiplayer, is how I'm interpreting that then, if it doesn't have a capacity of any kind. That seems odd. Unless FarmSim has gotten smarter at some point and there's the hired help can run a grain cart now that I didn't know about, or a wagon. You have to drive between the hills when cultivating weeds, so if you get to the end and there's rows going the other way, your tractor bounces to the moon. Oh yeah, I remember that very much. But we didn't do ridges on the end rows. We only did the ridges on the straight rows to help out with that a little bit when we were doing that with corn back in the day. But yeah, you didn't do headlands with potatoes. That makes a lot more sense. All right, let's take over here. I'll do the last row here. We'll see if we can do it manual without missing a ton. And what's it look like in cab? I don't know if I've been in cab in this tractor before. Looking good. Oh, it's lagging. Wow. Man, it's like impossible to see your tillage equipment, or your, yeah, I guess this would be considered tillage equipment. It's like really hard in cab in this thing. And I suppose it's just because it's 3-point mounted and so close up against you, but I would find that difficult to play that way, I suppose. So we're going to go back out to the external view here. Yeah, I would be using a lot of automation, I think, on a vegetable farm. We haven't even gotten to harvesting yet. And it seems like the only way I'm going to be able to do that is with using a hired helper. I don't mind the 6-row equipment for this stuff, though. I'm curious to see how much yield we get. I'm driving over somebody's poor farm over here. So let's run this back up to the farm, get it out of the way. As soon as we're done planting there, I think we can move things forward, although maybe I should spray at least, put some fertilizer down. Since precision farming isn't updated yet, I think that's going to be messing us up. I don't know that it's using the correct values here. There's a new sprayer in the premium expansion, so we'll go ahead and use that. We've got some ridiculously wide widths. 33 meters is way too big for our field. I'm going to use the smallest setup here. And we'll turn that on, whatever it is. There's all kinds of different tire options. Narrow tires and narrow tires 2. We'll go for the narrower ones. And I assumed this thing is going to be able to do liquid fertilizer here for us, so we'll get a pallet of that. And before I actually go out there with it, though, I suppose I don't have nitrogen requirements for this. I mean, I do, but I think it's going to use whatever wheat is by default. If you don't have that crop in precision farming yet, because I know when we're planting, it's telling me that we don't have any seed data set up for precision farming for the new vegetable crops, so I'm just going to assume that there's nothing set up for precision farming in this right now. Gonna play Farming Simulator. All right, have a good one. We harvested potatoes 2 rows at a time, mile-long rows, 4th gear with a 15-speed power shift, about as fast as you can go. It's just a few miles an hour. Oh, I believe that. I know when we were doing, or when the neighbors were doing the potatoes, Next to us, I think it was 4 rows at a time they were doing. But they had like a machine that would dig them up and lay them on top, and then they would like rake them over into piles in the middle row, and then there was a machine that would come and pick up like 3 wide at a time. What is going on? I'm being tipped over. Oh, I hit the harvester, didn't I? All right, let me fold this back up. I haven't really been keeping track of the crash counter today. All right, take 2, take 2. There we go. Turn that on. And there's our nitrogen. This thing now bounces. What's it look like in cav? Oh, not too bad. Whoops. Ooh, this is a bouncy ride. I like that the seat bounces independent of the... Oh my goodness. Independent of the vehicle now, but doesn't help my driving any apparently. I do not like that my ground texture isn't updating. Like, I can't tell a difference between where I've sprayed and I haven't sprayed, because they use that darkened dirt texture to tell me where I've planted and not planted on top of the ridges. So that's kind of painful. I'm wondering if our root crops aren't going to require nitrogen in the same way. I don't know. Maybe I should have just left precision farming off for today. Got to play FS22 while watching YouTube FS22 videos. Nice. Southport48, how long have I played this game? I've been playing FarmSim 22 since it came out. I've been playing FarmSim since just right at the FarmSim 17 release. And I did go back and play a little bit of FarmSim 15 at one point, but really I kind of started playing FarmSim with FarmSim 17. These big telephone poles are in my way. I suppose I could just fold things up to not drive across the field. There we go. And I'm gonna run down here, we'll do our other field, and then we'll run the clock forward because our planter should be about done. Now be... Oops, wrong button. This button? This button. I'll be curious to see how much seed is left in that planter, because they've got just those little tiny seed boxes, and we've planted now 2 fields. Oh, but I bet... Let me check. This is a new game. I always forget to look at the settings. Is it... Yeah, it's buying everything. So I guess I won't see how well that does. I was curious how long a planter could actually plant, like, you know, how many acres or what have you. Although I don't have unit convert even installed right now. Oh my goodness, we're clipping everything. Redneck, this comes out on the... we just looked it up. It's in my thumbnail. It comes out on the 13th or the 14th, Tuesday. We'll follow the planter back down. Daniel, it's nice to see FarmSim add vegetables. Yeah, I'm excited, not for the equipment that we got with this pack, but I'm excited to see the crops get into the game. And then we will be hopefully seeing, you know, the modders able to do more now that the game mechanics have been added with, like, the ridging and stuff like that, and some of the equipment is now here in the base game. Now they can go through and start making more vegetable related things, which will be a lot of fun, I think. And yeah, it means, you know, hopefully that more fruit types get added in next game, which would be cool. Maybe we'll even see blueberries or something come to the game eventually. I was bummed out that it's all European equipment from what you can tell. Yeah, 100%. It's a Polish map, and so I'm not surprised that all the equipment is set up to match up with that. We'll go ahead and bring this up to the yard. I have to say, I actually like this little Fiat tractor. It's kind of cool. It's nice, it's like square, blocky looking. I'm digging it. And it's zippy. It really gets around in the yard here. I'm gonna put it, whoops, right back over here. I have to unfold to lower. Okay, we don't want to do that. Looks good. We're planted, we're sprayed. Let's get the equipment off the field and skip some time forward. I guess I can start moving the clock. We used quite a bit of spray across those fields. I guess I only bought one pallet. South Park, you're playing on UMRV. It's a good map. And do I have the Sleep Anywhere mod installed? Let's find out. I do. Look at that. Let's see what this looks like as the crops go through the different cycles. I'm kind of curious to see the textures. So I put parsnips in one field and carrots in the other. They'll be very similar crops, I'd assume. And I find it interesting if spraying counts before the plants have popped. Oh, that's true. I mean, I put nitrogen on. I got precision farming on, so it should. So these are all going this way, looking good. And then, yeah, they finally did it. They've got headlands going in one direction and rows going in the other because of the way the ridge mechanics work. I'll give them props. That's one thing that has always bothered me about base game is everything is not in rows, and now we've got rows of crops here for our vegetables. So, yep, credit where it's due, Farm Sim. I appreciate this as a game mechanic. All my base game maps, I'll be moving over to the row crop ready stuff for my corn and beans moving forward. And so it's cool to see little mechanics like this show up in the game. All right. Redneck, you prefer the joystick from Thrustmaster or the side panel from Logitech? So I used to have the side panel for years. And I got rid of it when I got my Stream Deck for a few reasons. I found that it didn't work as well as I would have liked. It was a little finicky, and I'm a visual guy. And so, you know, on my Stream Deck, like I have the icons and the words for what things do. On the FarmStick, it's got icons on most of the buttons for the common things. And then for the other things, it just feels natural. Like the gear shifting is these little toggles. Zooming in and out is the wheel. I've got a hat up here, and it works really well. So I've enjoyed the FarmStick over the side panel quite a bit, to be honest. So if I was to go out and buy one of them, you know, and again, I have to, you know, I'll be upfront. I got all of this stuff for free. But if I was to go out and spend my own money on either this or a side panel, I'd probably get this joystick, I think. All right, let's take a look at the precision farming maps before I start moving things forward. I just want to make sure. I mean, pH is okay, nothing crazy there. And then let me take a look at the normal growth maps. Oh, it looks like it didn't replant the carrots. It's still, yeah, I've still got carrots up here. Okay, everything's looking pretty normal here. Let's start skipping some time. Before I do that, I just want to look. I'm looking to get into August to start harvesting. Okay, I like that. It's a summer harvest, not a fall harvest, so you could kind of mix things up, although beets and carrots could go all the way to November. Skipping. Tim, I think it's easier for giants to develop equipment and such from Europe since that's where they're based out of and they don't have to travel very far. Yeah, I think there's probably some truth to that, Tim. I know they do have a U.S. presence now. They've got that office in Chicago. That's where Kermit's based out of. He actually relocated to be out of that office. And they've got a few other people there now as well. But again, that's not their primary, development center. This looks pretty good. I'm liking this. I'm going to skip ahead again. See what they look like as they keep growing. Harvesting beets in November is pretty nasty. Yeah. Farmall Anniversaries pack is in there as well. I do want to get that going. I installed it, but it didn't make it into this save for some reason. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll take a look at this crops because I'm just kind of watching as they grow here, looking at how they look. Let me save the game real quick and go figure out why that didn't load in, because I'd love to drop those in here real quick. I'm going to go back out to the menu here. And if I go to the installed, see, Case IH Farmall Anniversary Pack is installed right up here. I've got no pending updates. And then we scroll through my ever-growing save game backlog. And it's not in this list. Fascinating. I wonder why I can't do the case stuff in here. No license, no license, no license. I wonder why those aren't licensed. I wonder if it's just a case of it's not set up to work yet with, this is an early access version of the game. It's not the full version, and I know that those case things loaded in for the normal game today. You can buy them and download them in FS22 without the premium expansion. Yeah, I don't see anything here. I've got the extra content unlocked Farmall pack. Whoops. Well, what's going on then? Career. I mean, I don't see any errors in my logs. Like usually that's why you don't see a mod on this screen, is there's an error of some kind. If I start a new game on like Elm Creek, do they show up? Nope. I don't know. Another mystery, folks. Pretty much had to have a tractor permanently towing semis down the field. Yeah, that would be that'd be the case in the later months for root crops for sure. Alex, how you doing, man? Always good to see you. Having an office in the U.S. sure helps with advances in American-style farming. Do you think they will still continue to roll out new base game versions as they have in the past, or use the ATS model? I believe they will continue to use the model that they're in right now. I think more games, especially games like this, should switch to the ATS model. I love what ATS has done. I stream ATS, once every couple of months, it seems. And that's the extent of how much I've played the game for the most part. I don't have a lot of time to just sit and play. And I still buy all their DLCs because I like their development model so much. I think that they're just doing it right, and I love supporting them as a company. I wish FarmSim would do that, because I feel like as a game, as a platform, it would be so much better for them to just continue to evolve their platform over time, and then release things on a regular basis. I would pay more for content packs of things rather than, I feel kind of like I've spent a lot of money on the game and then they want to try and charge me for all the DLCs too, is a bit much at times. Where with ATS, I'll buy their new content pack every, 6 months that they release one. Yeah, these get nice and bushy after some time. And I wonder, because we ridged, I'm not having to spray herbicide here. I don't have any weeds. So that's kind of cool. We're growth stage of remove foliage. So I think that means they're ready to harvest, folks. So we're gonna jump into this thing and harvest some carrots. And by harvest some carrots, I mean we're gonna tell somebody that I'd like to harvest some carrots, and we're gonna go get in another piece of equipment and drive next to him. Can we ruin our root crops by driving over them? Doesn't look like it. Man, and if I have to use a worker, hang on. I'm gonna start him off on the right side of the field. This is what's gonna irk me the most, is we're gonna have to drive right over this stuff to do this. Backing it up. Oh yeah, we've only got 4 rows too. Where are these carrots going? Oh, there they are. So there is a small internal storage. Or are they just literally dumping my carrots on the ground? I think that's what's going on. They're just dumping them on the ground. Oh my goodness. Well, let's go and get... I guess we'll get our nice fancy Kloss tractor on the Kloss trailer here. See how this goes. I'm gonna spin around and drop this off a little bit out of the way since this is our main thoroughfare. I wonder if they let me store my carrots in the bins at least. Why is that not working? Oh, I've got to switch to it to disconnect it. Yeah, there we go. Quick test. Driving through this with a normal tractor going to ruin our field. Nope. Root crops are impervious to damage. Good deal. And I know I've got damage turned on because I was driving over the, what do you call it earlier? The wheat. Oh my goodness. I can't get under with a tractor? You have to use a little tractor to do this? Oh, there we go. I'm like, I don't see any carrots. Oh, I'm so gonna need to use some cruise control. I wish my rolly button would adjust my cruise control when I'm on the other mode here. I know I can always just reach up to the keyboard here, but we'll try and just do it manually for this run at least and see what happens when he turns around. I'm really curious to see what happens when he gets to the end row. Now, we're only harvesting 4 rows here, and I've already got 4,000 liters of carrots, which is pretty awesome. This is the one thing I always did enjoy about root crops, is the sheer volume of what you're getting off of the field. I like lots of stuff coming off the field. I think it's cool. That's why one of the reasons why I like corn out of my grain crops the most. It's one of the most voluminous. Let him finish unloading here. I think we've got it all. And we'll get out of the way. Harvester not work when you're harvesting? No, because it doesn't have any capacity, so somebody's got to run alongside it. I'm gonna drop our cruise control down this time. I don't know how fast it's going, but so here's the problem. I've got to get around the arm with the tractor because it's too tall, but then I'm not underneath it. So annoying. Alright, hang on. Oh, and this thing doesn't have a reverse gear. And go. Yeah. We're trying to get everything dialed in here. I didn't know what speed I needed to go. I wasn't paying attention last run. And then we get too far away and the whole thing shuts down. There we go. It's having to reach over to my keyboard to adjust the speed of the cruise control that's getting me right now. Looks like it's 4 miles an hour? Maybe 4.5. The high side of 4. Perfect. That carrot texture is a little weak. They look about half the size they are in real life with this texture. Well, maybe, I don't know. I feel like maybe that's a little bit skewed because I'm zoomed out so far and I don't have a great field of view right now either. Let me try and adjust that real quick because I usually play with a smaller field of view. And so I feel like if I was there for scale, that the carrots are decent sized. I don't know. Maybe they're a smidge small. Maybe you're right. Oh, this worker is aggressively trying to turn into me. Let's scooch over here a bit. Oh, I'm gonna have to do the annoying backup thing. The fact that my cab is taller than the unloading auger here, or belt, or whatever we would call this, is a little annoying. We got too close. And go. So I could definitely see myself using a Course Player Auto Drive to run the tractor and the wagon and stuff to do all this. I'm 100% full, so now's a great time to go explore the map. Let's see if we can figure out where the sell points are for this stuff, and we'll run it over there. I mean, the whole rationale behind the new map is going to be to play with the new stuff. We're in August right now, so the price is not great and going down. Looks like we go between 315 and 144, and we're not too bad though. So let's go here. This looks like a train station to send it to Erlengrat. I'm gonna tag that, and we're gonna go see where that's at. Way over there. Well, let's do it. We'll go off and explore the map. I've got the time set way too high. I'm gonna back that down. It's evening right now. Whoops. We're all over the place. I've got hands on all the wrong controls. Is the auger adjustable? Seems it would be for like the tater harvester. That's possible. We are using an we were using the hired helper. I'll check that when we get back and see if I can adjust it before I start the hired helper off. We're gonna sell these crops though because I just want to move around the map here a little bit. It's interesting countryside. Nothing crazy jumping out at me here. I actually love that they have the billboards that are like advertising their DLCs in the game now. Cutter, bring the carrots to your restaurant. You'll give me $100 per carrot. Haha, nice. Got like $8 million. I can afford the bad price on carrots. Yeah. It's habit. I can't help myself. I've got to look for the best deal. So what is this ahead of me? It looks like the road is closed, which is fine. If that's like a... Yeah, it looks like the bridge has got a break in it. They're repairing the bridge, which means that our sell point must be over here? Oh, no. Okay. It's literally... That's where it leaves the map to go over there. So that's just the train exit point. I have to figure out where I can load into the train, which I'm going to guess is straight ahead of me here. Well, that's my bad. I should have thought about that a little bit better before I picked that. Well, this will give us a chance to test a load with the train station. Oh, there's one of those like forestry towers over there. And then after we do this one, we'll take the next load up to one of the other sell points, maybe in the town, and see what that looks like. I'm almost positive this is the train station. I could check the map, or I could just dump my vegetables here, which is what I'm going to do. There we are. Matthew Louis, this is the new Premium Expansion Polish map. I believe it's called something like Zobozawi. I'm not sure for sure. I'm not entirely sure though. Like I think it's that up there is the name. We've got this. Where do I buy the train? Turn this on. Usually there's a little thing you can walk up to and push the button by a crossroads or something. It's usually somewhere nearby to the thing, but if I don't see it here in a second, I'll jump in the menu and find it, but usually it's like right nearby and you can rent the train. Rent train. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Tag place. Open objects train station one. Rent train for $1,000 an hour. Okay. Yeah, so it's just right here in the middle. Well, it'll come when it comes. I'm going to jump in here. We'll run back up to the farm. We'll get another load to take somewhere else. I'm kind of curious to see if there's a different train, though, to go with the map. Or if it's just the same train that's on the other maps. If I pop this up, is there another way to go back? Like, I can take this little dirt road to cut the corner. We'll do that. Little scenic view here. I do like the gentle rolling hills. I can't seem to follow the road and read chat here. Hopefully not the Canadian Pacific. It'd be a long way from home. Yeah, exactly. That'd be a little bit awkward. Not sure how it's getting to Poland. I'm sure they have a different train on the current map, which is what, based in France? So it's probably the same one that's on the French map. I've never played the other base game FarmSim map since launch. I think I might have, during the early access and when the game came out, I might have streamed on it once, but other than that, I never really got into it. Alright, we'll try and do this. Can't see the trailer out of the mirrors. And here we go. Oh, we're gonna look and see if I can adjust this, weren't we? Turn off the worker. F1. I can, look at that. All right, we'll raise it up, and then, oh, I can adjust it like this too. So we'll do that. And let's see if that works out a little bit better for us. Oh, I forgot to start the worker. There we go. That's gonna work out so much better. Thank you for the recommendation. I would have forgot all about that. Let's go. Oh, I am renting that train for $1,000 an hour. I'm not sure I'll be able to afford it for much longer, so we'll have to jump back over there and deal with that soon. We could also get a much larger trailer on the farm here for this as well, but I think actually I'm enjoying the smaller loads. It's going to give us an excuse to go hit some different areas around town. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we're not under that auger, it's just going on the ground. We're losing those crops, because that was a few hundred liters of carrots we got, and it wasn't stopping when we moved out from under there, which is actually kind of cool. I could get behind that. It's almost like losing corn when the grain cart driver messes up. Feels so weird driving over crops, though. Yeah, Adam, no worries. I'm always happy to show things off. If anybody wants to check out any of the other premium stuff they've seen online and they've got questions about, let me know. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, if you're seeing something that's interesting to you and you haven't already bought the Season 2 pass, you can buy just the Premium Expansion. I've got a link in the description of the video, and if you buy it today or tomorrow, I believe you get 5% off, which is a whopping $1 off of the $19.99 price. But it seems to include the new map and these new vegetable mechanics, a few new pieces of equipment. I don't know. I'm a terrible partner. You know, I would say for me, there's not a lot here that I think I'll personally be doing a lot with. But I'm excited for the possibilities this brings to the base game. Wow, I should have stayed under that a little bit longer. I'm excited about the possibilities that it brings to the base game, in that we'll see more vegetable-related mods and stuff moving forward, hopefully. Because I know they've got these automated style, especially for things like carrots and stuff, I've seen in real life. So I'd love to, or seen in real life, seen in the US as well. I'd love to see them bring this to American style equipment at some point. And if FarmSim won't do it, I know there's modders out there that'll do it, which will be pretty cool. Johnny H, how you doing, man? For root crops, the crop is below the ground, so I'd assume no crop loss by driving over above the ground. Yeah, at least in FarmSim, you're not doing any harm to anything. I mean, I think in real life, you probably wouldn't drive a big, heavy tractor like this on top of a carrot row, but who knows? Altoona, there's a chip factory in Zielonka. Nice. I honestly, I'll be honest, I've been to Poland 3 times in my life, but I never really got out of the cities. I was either in Warsaw or, oh man, I forget what the port city was. I had a conference there that I went to one time. I'm going to pop in here now. Oh, now maybe it's not here, but here. And we're going to find somewhere else to bring this to. A soup factory. That sounds cool. Where is that at? Tag place. Down over here. Let's do it. I'm going to go there in the most roundabout way possible, though. We're going to run up this little road and then cut over into town and head down there. Just for the fun of it. We'll go this way and experience a little bit of this nice little village. Bum, 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 bum. Johnny H, I'm enjoying the new joystick, I'll be honest. Somebody asked earlier if I liked this more or the Logitech side panel. And for those that don't know, I used to play with a side panel for a long time, and I really liked that. But if I had to buy one with my own money, I'd probably end up getting one of these for the side stick. This FarmStick is working great. Heavy tractors probably cause more compaction and issues for the harvester, but I have tracks, so it's all good. Maybe. I'd have to watch some videos and see how they do that in real life. I have to assume in real life they're just circling the outsides of the field, but maybe not. Maybe they're just driving over or in between the rows or what have you. Can I steer with it? I could if I set it up that way. I don't have it set up to steer, but what I did do is I set it up for like in combines and stuff so that I can control my acceleration forwards and backwards with this and then steer with the steering wheel still. So I do have it set up that way, but I could steer with it if I wanted to. And it works great for the front loader. Jumping. I am getting used to it still, but I like having the camera controls here because I was always like reaching up and like leaning over to get to the mouse and stuff, and I don't like doing that a lot. I'm old, it hurts my back. Let me untag this because I hate the giant glowing greenness. And I see on the map, you guys can't see the map, I've got cameras here, but I think I can get out over here. Nice. Yeah, see this is, I pan, my thumb is heavy. I tend to pan up and down when I'm just trying to go left and right sometimes. We're gonna go up and north, take the main road over this time. Just keep trying new roads. Oh, I'm gonna be up on the sidewalk, aren't I? Sorry, I'm just playing with the camera. Now that I talked about it, I'm like trying to play around with it a little bit. Where am I going? You guys can't even see the map, so you don't know where I'm going. I need to go down this little road. The other fun part about playing with a new map for the first time is I have no idea where I'm going. I've never been on this map. Although I will say I like how it's laid out. There's lots of little paths everywhere around on this map, so you can really get around. I'm liking the general feel of it. I'll pull into this business out of curiosity and see if I can cut through their parking lot to get to my farm. I can, look at that. Awesome. Well, let's just jump the sidewalk here. Big Tractor Power has some cool videos of vegetable harvesters. Nice, I'm gonna have to check those out then. I'm curious now. I've honestly not done a whole lot with anything other than I've mentioned we used to work next to some people that had a potato farm in Minnesota, and so I would see them out doing some of the potato stuff from time to time, but I haven't actually done it myself or been out in the field with them seeing the equipment and stuff. And it takes so long for the carrots to work their way up here. And then there's going to be a deceptive gap here coming up, I think, because we stopped it. Yep, right there. Let it continue to empty out here. You're supposed to go in lands mode, but how do you get down the middle the first time unless you're driving over them? But I know I wouldn't be like driving over the crops like I'm doing right now, but I would imagine that you have to cut through the field once at least. Oh, this thing doesn't have a reverse gear. I keep forgetting. But yeah, I can't imagine that this is what you would be doing. These harvesters don't want to have to turn and back up and turn. You would just keep going in around a chunk of land. There. Oh, how did my cruise control get up to 6 miles an hour? What did I do? I pushed some button that made that go up. Oh, we're messing it up again. Okay. I'm tired of backing up. We're gonna spin around and realign ourselves. That's how it... Well, why does it only go up? Okay, I figured it out. I can roll the rolly thing to make it go faster, so now I'm all out of whack again. But I can't roll it back down to slow down my cruise control. I must have messed up one of my key bindings at some point. Alright, well, I figured it out. I know what not to do now. Warsaw. Yeah, I was in Warsaw. I used to fly into a few different places in Eastern Europe for different reasons, and Warsaw was one of the layover locations that I would be in. And then I went out into Warsaw to visit a company one time, and then I forget the name, but there was a port city up on the sea there that I went to for a conference for a weekend, which was a lot of fun. They've got good food there. They need pierogies crop, the ultimate Polish food, exactly. But I mean, pierogies, I mean, that's just gonna end up being what, like wheat to make the pasta and whatever you want to put in it. I'm going in circles. Oh, you're 5 minutes off feed. That's fine. I take that long to read chat and answer questions myself, so there's a inherent delay in my streams now because I'm streaming at a slightly higher quality. Daniel, Daniel, I hope Giants gives us console people the option to adjust the FFB centering spring feed. The wheel is so stiff. Oh, really? I feel like my force feedback, like this is my force feedback sensitivity right now. It's next to nothing at the moment. So I don't know what happened, but it's very light at the moment, and there's some settings. I've got a huge dead zone. That's why I'm all over the place, by the way. I'm not that horrible of a driver. My dead zone settings, I think, got turned off a bit, or not. They're not at 0 like they should be for this steering wheel, so it's been a little bit of a pain. You had so much fun in Warsaw. Yeah, it's a great city. Oh, we're doing it again, folks. Reading chat, driving all over the place. And next stream, I'm going to get my chat and my camera on the same side so you guys aren't just staring at the side of my head the whole night. Well, with power steering and tractors, there's virtually 0 force to turn the wheel. That's true on this tractor. That would definitely be true. In some of the older tractors, there wasn't power steering, or the power steering didn't work very well. And I don't know how well they've done on modeling that, but it is what it is. Farmer Tech, I am live tonight. All right, well, I'll let this guy turn around. I'm not going to bother sticking around for 7%. Let's go find another location. I'm kind of liking this pick a new place every time. So we just did the soup factory. Let's do the farmer's market. Let's see what that's all about. Farmer's market. Down that way. Let's do it. Squeezing through. Yeah, I think we'll go down this little side road. We're flying at 27 miles an hour. I don't think I'd probably be going max speed in real life down something that narrow with this big tractor. Has anybody had any issues with the last update? I did have a few issues. I haven't figured out which mods are breaking for me, but I couldn't load the game initially, and then I had my save wasn't loading for some reason. I don't know what was going on. So I always just blame the patches. Every time there's a patch, my game gets messed up, I feel like, so I'll give them a day or so to figure that out. But that's why there is no UMRV video on Friday like I'd anticipated. Lieutenant Dan, how is the new expansion? It's very European, but other than that, I like seeing the new root crop vegetables in here. I think it's cool. The ridges are actually probably my favorite feature so far of all the stuff we've tried. And I do want to get the other pull-behind harvester out here to give that a shot at some point, just to see how those vegetable pallets look. But the fact that you've actually got rows of crops now for these vegetables is really cool. I think that that's, if I have to give Giants props for something, it's finally getting something like that in the game. Whoa, whoa. Trying to look at too many things at the same time, and we're going to crash into everybody. Including our harvester. That ladder really hangs off the side. Am I going to plant something else? We might try the other crop here. I've got parsnips on the other field. We might switch over to parsnips, and then I might reset everything, and we can try... Is the other one beets? I don't think it's going to be any different. It's all the same equipment. It might just look a little bit different. I'm not sure. Root crops and I have a love-hate relationship, so it'll be interesting, but always down to give it a go. Yeah, I just like to see that there's a little bit of new mechanics here. I mean, look at this. This is one of the only crops in Farm Sim that you get actual rows in your fields. You know, no matter what direction you look at them, those rows go that direction, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know how that's going to work with the multi-terrain angle, right? So, like, I put a headland pass in here, and it goes the other way. That's so cool. It's almost like the row crop ready stuff, right? Matt, how do I like the Thrustmaster wheel? Do you prefer that wheel over a different one? So before this, I had a Logitech G920 is the wheel I was using. And there's a couple of differences between the two of them. I want to say they're about comparable in price. Maybe this one's a smidge more expensive. The Logitech... I liked the feel of the wheel part a little bit better. It had a fully wrapped leather wheel. This one's got a plastic inner ring and a, I don't know, kind of leathery, kind of plasticky, squishy leather on the outside. But the thing that makes it for me is this steering kit, which flattens this wheel out so that I'm driving it, you know, it's up like this instead of being a racing wheel. And I'm really enjoying that aspect of it. Other than that, from a force feedback perspective, force feedback seems to be a little bit wonky in Farm Sim right now. I was talking to the Farm Sim guy about it earlier in his stream, and he's also having problems where like in this vehicle, I don't notice force feedback at all right now, and we're not sure if that's because of the early access version, because I had force feedback on this in the previous live stream, and it was working, you know, pretty much normally, how I would expect it in FarmSim, which is, you know, it more or less FarmSim's version of force feedback is tension at high speeds. It gets harder to turn the faster you're going, and then in the fields it'll like jostle, like bounce the wheel a little bit on you sometimes. And that seemed to be working about the same with this wheel as my Logitech. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of very similar experience. I just really like this steering kit. The only downside of the steering kit is my steering wheel sits, you know, almost a foot off of the desk now, compared to if you're using just a normal racing wheel. It's gonna push up into the desk, and the wheel's gonna be a lot further or a lot closer to the desk. And my only problem is, it's more of a problem with my cockpit setup, is I can't scoot my chair back very far here. Like, I can bring the camera with me here, and I hit my knee on it when I'm getting out, and I've really smashed right in the soft spot on the side of your knee a couple of times getting out of my setup, and that has ended with some choice language and a bruise on the side of my knee. But other than that, I've really enjoyed the setup. They changed something with the angles for modders in the update. I did see that, Altoona. It said something about you no longer have to go in and expand the whatchamajigger to be able to change how many field angles there are, which sounds like an improvement. I am gonna stop you. We're gonna switch fields after this load. So let me bring you over here so we can do some parsnips. And if you didn't catch the ATS stream I did a couple days ago, I really enjoyed this shifter over the one that comes with the Logitech. If you get the bundle for the G920, there's like a bundle with the shifter that's included. I did not like that shifter very much, and this one shifts really nice. It snaps in, it feels really solid. I enjoyed that a lot more. So the shifter wins out. I'd say the wheel is probably about the same, and the FarmStick is way better than what I was using before. Oh, wait, there was my train. Let's look at the train. Hey, look at that. It is a nice old school style engine here. That looks cool. Okay. Awesome. Well, that answers that question. Let's go ahead and put some grain in here and see what happens. And we got carrots. All right, we've got, I think our entrance is, oh wait, I can start overloading carrots. That compartment's probably full. It's a nice round number. I forget there's multiple compartments. Oh no, I did the wrong button. Oh no, we only have 12,599. Okay, we're just all over the place here, folks. Put the carrots in and leave them there. Now, I believe the exit that we needed to go to deliver these was right behind us here. I'm sure I could send this train forward and do it too, but I think we're closer to the map edge if I just go backwards. The great things with trains is they go the same speed either way. I love that it's like an electric train too. That's cool. Alrighty, do you want the train to sell the loaded goods? I do. Adios. We were going to deliver these carrots to a new location and then see what the parsnips look like. I expect them to look very similar to the carrots. We did the farmer's market, we've done Erlengrat, we've done the soup factory. Let's see where the preserved food factory is. Over that way. Here we go. You've never had your wheel bounce around when in the field. I've had the tension increase at higher speeds though. Really? My Logitech would do that all the time in the fields, especially when you're driving like the older equipment. Anytime I was out in like a plowed field, it would like bounce a little bit on you. Just to give you that sense of feeling that there's something there. Maybe my Logitech steering wheel was just broke and I always thought it was feedback from driving the tractor in the field. But it didn't do it on the roads, it only did it when I was out in the field. I've made an error. This is not the driveway, but there looks to be a driveway on the other side, so we'll loop around. It's a right turn. U-turn. Oh no. My bad. Sorry, buddy. Well, this is easy. Unloading. Yeah, I can't imagine actually dumping carrots down into a grate like that in real life, but that's all right. Making $2,500 per load here, which is really not that bad, considering how many loads we've gotten off of this field already. It's a lot of work, but the equipment isn't terribly expensive. I mean, we bought the biggest equipment, which I know is not that big, and I think the Ridger was 50 or 60K. And the planter was not much different. For the harvester that we've got, I think that was like $600,000 though, so that'd be a pretty big expensive upgrade if you were to try and get all the way up into that right away. But there's pull behinds that are 2 rows versus the 4 row on the automatic one here. All right, this is our farm, and I think this is our little dirt track. Yep. It's actually easy to turn in when you take your foot off the accelerator and don't try to do it at max speed. I forgot to go out and see if I've got a dead zone setting, so I'm finding my steering's just a little off, and usually when I have problems going in the direction that I want to go a little bit, it's because I've forgot to get rid of the dead zone. And yeah, it's got a carrot texture on the machine, but the parsnips in the trailer. Come on, Giants. Come on, you're killing me here. You're killing me, Smalls. I am sure that they will fix that for release. Do you use the pedal for all your driving? That bugged me when I played. I wanted a hand throttle. I do most of the time. But honestly, I get kind of lazy a lot of the time, and I'll reach over and just use the keyboard sometimes to just, when I'm like backing something in real quick. But since I've gotten the FarmStick, I've mapped that now to be like kind of like a hand throttle, so I can just use this for my accelerator. It's not quite the same as like what you would have as a hand throttle in a tractor, obviously, but it is a little bit easier, especially with me. I've got some old man knees. I'm dumping these parsnips all over the ground, but sometimes I just don't have it in me to use my knee and be on the accelerator the whole time. So like you can see right now, I'm controlling my forward backwards with the joystick. I've got it mapped right now so that I can still use a front loader with it. If I'm doing it, if I'm just in the tractor and it has a front loader, it'll work fine. And then there's 2 trigger buttons, and the bottom trigger I have set up right now so that I can just control my acceleration. So if I go sideways, it doesn't do anything. In fact, that's a secondary loader control for me. It's the close open grapple. But I can use the joystick to be my acceleration, and I'm pulling it all the way back, right? I can, at least I was able to not go full speed with this thing. That does not appear to be working for me right now. I've messed something up, but at least in my live stream last time, I could very gradually just go forwards and backwards. Let me check my mapping real quick. What happened last time was my mapping got messed up. Gamepad controls, and you can see in here for vehicle driving. Yep, see this one's messed up. It should be I'm holding the button down and pushing forward. There we go. So now you can see if I just move this forward a little bit, I can go, 3 miles an hour if I want to, and then I can, speed up and adjust my acceleration however I want with the hand control. And this is a lot cooler, in my opinion, than having to use the foot pedal for everything. And you can get that real fine tuning if you want. And so it's fun with the combine when I was harvesting like beans or corn or something. When you're turning around on the end rows and stuff, you can, slow down and speed up real easy like you would in real life, and get lined up on your truck better and all that good stuff. So this is the way to go. Like, I'm not using cruise control or anything right now. I'm just using the hand control to do everything, and it's working great. And then because it's all on your hand, the problem I had with doing this with other setups is, I'd have to leave my hand from this to control the mouse to do the camera, but I've still got the hat and everything on here that I can use, so I can zoom in and out and do all the things I need to do without taking my hand off of this joystick. So that's pretty cool. Works pretty good for me, at least. Oh, I'm full. I'm like, why isn't he going anywhere? The only thing that would make it better is if it held position and you could set it like cruise control, not have to hang on to it. I agree. That's something that, as far as I can tell, Farm Sim isn't really set up to handle, but I've recently purchased my own USB controller or encoder. It's a USB encoder for a joystick that I can wire up myself and have it show up as a joystick, because I want to finally make for ATS a proper shifter with a splitter and a range control on there. And so I got to thinking about, well, if I did that with the joystick, I could control I could build like an actual farm throttle, and if I set it at 70%, right, it would just sit there and hold it at 70%. I could get a switch that's like that, like a dial of some kind, and wire that up in such a way that it always held its position and provided that constant input. And I think that would be really cool, and I think I could get that working with FarmSim too. So we'll see. I've recently got into 3D printing, and I'm like, I can make all of this stuff myself, and all of my video game development skills over the last several years, I've picked up a few 3D modeling skills and different things. So I'm thinking we're going to see some cool stuff like that come out for FarmSim at some point. And I say that just because I don't know how long it's going to take me to do those kind of things, but I think it'd be kind of fun. And I think that's one thing I haven't seen a lot of. I've seen a ton of ATS mods, right? And I'm reinventing the wheel just because I think it'd be fun to build my own knob control with the splitter and the range control. But for FarmSim, I haven't seen anybody doing, that more normal throttle type setups. So we'll see. We'll see if it's cool. You can use the Logitech throttle controller. I've been using that for about a year now, and it's great. I guess I'm not familiar with what their throttle control looks like. Would that be the one for flight sim stuff? I wonder if the Hori farm vehicle control system equipment will hold the throttle position. Good question. I haven't actually looked at their kit. I know that they announced that not too long ago. All right, this is the supermarket. This is the last of the vegetable sell points that we haven't been to yet. And I'm guessing I'm just going to back this thing up to the door and give them what for. Oh, yeah. All right, let's do it. You want parsnips? I've got parsnips. Oh. Apparently they don't want them at the door. They want them right here in the middle somewhere. Yes, probably right in the middle of the screen point. There we go. Here's your parsnips. I'm not sure what they're going to be making, but a lot of something with parsnips. Caitlin, am I going to post tomorrow? No, I don't post videos on Sundays. If everything goes well and I don't get sicker than I am right now, I do plan on recording tomorrow so that we have a video for Monday. I spent maybe 2 hours in UMRV last night getting everything all set up for the next video. And I think I'm finally ready to go, as long as nothing new breaks with the patch that they released and everything else. No, it wouldn't have been last night. It would have been Thursday night I set all that up, because I was going to try and get a video out on Friday, and it didn't happen because of the patch. I installed the new patch, and it broke my game. So I'll sort that all out and hopefully record a video tomorrow night, and it'll be there Monday morning. And we'll get back on track with our Monday, Wednesday, Friday UMRV schedule. I know a lot of people want to see Edgewater, Saskatchewan come back, which probably will. And then I'm planning on doing something with row crop ready here. I tried to start during the last stream, and I got so distracted with everything else going on during the stream. I think I'm going to restart that over, but my hope is to start a new series doing a row crop ready contractor start from scratch type deal. I use a HOTUS as a hand throttle sometimes as well. Yeah, like that could work out well. I want to build one that actually has the same feel as what you would see in a tractor, and possibly even have that same like little shifter lever too. Here, if I go in cab, right? Oh, actually, this thing has got a joystick, kind of like what I'm doing right now. But if I was in a John Deere tractor, for example, right, you'd have the little throttle stick, and then you'd have little thumb shifters. So I've officially gone to every vegetable sell point now, which is kind of cool. I guess the only thing I haven't done is one of the pull behinds. So let me go grab another tractor here, and we'll do the pull behind vegetable harvester just for the fun of it. I'm so used to keyboard and mouse, sometimes I forget I can do all these things with the joystick now. I'm just gonna get this thing out of the way. We'll drive this up to the yard and switch tractors. Go Cyclones are currently beating BYU 17-7. Nice. I'm about to be blazing along one row at a time, I know. You guys got to get the full European experience, though. I mean, it wouldn't be a proper preview of the new DLC if we didn't show it off in all its glory. And that is right here, folks. We're going to get our nice Zetor Crystal, which I think this is actually a Polish tractor brand, if I'm not mistaken. Man, that thing's squatting a bit. I can't disconnect it while it's folded. Or maybe while it's up in the air. No, I need to unfold it first. Okay. Cannot unfold while lowered. Really? Alright, unfold it. Then lower it. Then disconnect it. Why is this not working? Oh, there we go. Range up. Gear up. Let's go. Reversing. What did I miss? Oh, I'm not smart sometimes. That is the harvester. It's so narrow, I thought it was a hitch. Nope, it's a 2-point mount back here. There we are. And let's go ahead and unfold this, see what it looks like. Pipe out. Oh man. This is gonna be epic. You forgot to wake you up when I started streaming? Nice. Word travels slowly to Scandinavia. There you go. Farmer Trio spamming the heart button. I saw somebody say hello from Finland earlier too, and I missed that. I was gonna respond. I know, I'm reading chat. I'm in your way. Get over it. Let's see what this looks like in cab. Can I actually see? Yeah, see, this is what bugs me. I know in real life you can look over the fender and see where that row is. It's like right down there too, right at the window side. I was hoping when it was lowered I'd be able to see it. Like I can just see the crops getting taken out. But unfortunately, we'll have to jump out here. I know it's a 1 row, but it looks like I could do 2 if you went over a little bit. And as you can see, we just spit things out on the ground if we're driving. I got buttons for this. Here we go. Let's go. You need track IR so you can move and lean to see over the fender. Yeah, although track IR just turns your head by default, I need that mod that when you look around it like leans your view. There's like a more realistic first person mode mod. I need to get that installed. Oops. This thing goes up and then has a little bit of a down. Let's see if that works. Perfect. One row at a time. Oops. The thing is with crops like this that are so voluminous, even at 1 row, we're still getting, you know, a decent amount of crop over not that far. 6:20 a.m. in Finland. That's early. That's early. Trek IR leans and moves up and down with your head. Oh, really, Scooter? Because that's new. When I demoed the Track IR thing and it did not lean. It 100% did not do that when I was playing with it. So if it does that now, then they've definitely enhanced it in some way. I know there's a mod that'll let you lean and stuff when you're looking around, but out of the box, that was not doing that for me. Oh, it's carrots, that's right. Now, I didn't pay attention there, folks. We're gonna do this again. Did this particular implement show parsnips or carrots when it was harvesting? Because the self-propelled was showing carrots when we were doing it. This is showing the parsnips, good. Why is it not driving is the question. Worker? Did I block it? What's going on? Worker B. It must have got some, it's in the carrots. Oh my goodness, that's why. Okay, that's not his fault. Well, it's kind of his fault, but... At least it makes sense. Unlike the pallet thing. But now, does that one show parsnips and carrots is the question. Oh, that would be interesting for sure, yeah. When we get back to the other end, we'll try it. I'm way too close to this guy. He'd be like majorly stressing out in real life. I think he's going faster than the 4 miles an hour that I was doing with the other one. Maybe I just got it set down a little bit. Trying to use both hands again. Maybe there has been updates since I had it, but you lean all the time. Nice. It is 11:30 here for me, which is way later than I usually stream, but I'm just kind of curious to play around with a couple more things here in our early access look. You know what? We're not going to wait for you to figure this out. I'm going to jump in and take over. Forward we go. And get some gears going. I'll just swing over here where I don't have to worry about 2 different crops. Go right into the carrots. Yeah, so it's stuck on parsnips now. Awesome. The output part is carrots, but the belt animation is parsnips. Yeah, I've got to submit a bug report for Giants on that one, I suppose. Good to know. So that's this pull behind vegetable harvester. There's one more that had a capacity. Was it this one? And I feel like this is the one that has the crates on the side. So I'm going to get one of these. I'm pretty sure this is the one with the crate. I'm going to buy one of those. And then I'm going to get this one with the hopper. Yeah, I mean, that's literally just the same thing that we've got right now, but with a hopper. I guess I don't need to demo that specifically, but we'll grab one. And what is this? This is just another belt out the side, like what we've got, just 2 rows instead of 1. And is this a 1-row crate? Yeah, this is a 1-row crate-based thing, it looks like. Well, we got the 2-row crate version, so we'll... Or is that just a 1-row too? Yeah, that's just a 1-row. Alright, let's get you out of here. Drop it and run. I don't know if this tractor is going to be big enough for these other machines, but we'll find out, I suppose. So, how do I do anything with this crate? So let's open this up. Unfold top lifting harvester. Oh man, this is looks crazy complicated. We're gonna bust our way through here real quick. I think you put multiple crates on that rack. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That's why I want to get it lined up over here. And I'll buy a couple crates. Oops. No box to fill available. Yep, I see that. Let me buy some boxes. Apparently I can buy them 4 at a time. And then, how do I load the boxes? Oh, object's too heavy. Well, I can fix that. Now, I have to assume I'm gonna be able to drop boxes on here? Oh, buy new boxes, comma, load boxes. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at that. So I could just drive up to these, I'm sure, if I had dropped them off in a line. In fact, I'll try that. I'm gonna drop the rest of these boxes down over here on the ground just because I have so much equipment over here. I don't want to deal with it. And we'll see how this works. I think it's gonna just be like a auto load or a, you know, one of the auto stacking bale trailers type deal. Yeah, these would be way too heavy to lift without, or once filled with vegetables for sure. Oh yeah, you can't really go anywhere with this. I mean, I can, but it's not designed to be moved. It looks like I'm probably meant to bring these over with something and set them down, like a front loader or something. Or a, not even a front loader, probably a, oops. Let go of that. What do you call it? A forklift. All right, let's leave this open for a second while I figure out what's going on. At least this one you can drive yourself. Lift platform. And then we're turned on. We'll lower it down. And let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, we're dumping carrots right into one of these boxes. Well, cool. I'm kind of curious to see how this works out once it gets full. Does it just start dropping the boxes off the back on its own? Oh, I've got an unload boxes option. Unfortunately, I need the keyboard to control for that. That's Z to unload boxes. I am hoping that it's going to automatically like start shifting them as my boxes get full. As long as I'm still seeing our capacity go up, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, skid loader would work great for that too. That's a great point, Tim. Oh, we didn't quite make it. Oh yeah, it's loading out of the front and into 2 different directions. For the sake of testing this, I'm not going to be super picky about getting right back into the same row here. I'm just going to grab any old row. I'm more interested in the box mechanics than I am the harvesting mechanics at this point. And so it automatically started filling that second container, and then I'm betting once that one's full, it'll shift both of them back, and it'll do the same thing that it did for these, where it loads the other 2 boxes. But we'll find out in a second here. I'm still gaining capacity. I don't know where it's going, though, right now. Yep, there it goes, shifting the boxes. Now I'm losing carrots right now while it's doing the shift, and then it's catching up, but it did keep that capacity. It jumped up by like 500 there real quick, so it kept that capacity while I was doing that, so that's good. At least you're not having to stop like when you unload a bale or something and time that perfectly. That one box just shifted while I'm turning around here. That's a little concerning. Pretty sure this tractor is undersized right now as well. I don't know that I would do a large field like this. It seems very slow. Well, I mean, yes, this is a 1-row piece of equipment, but the biggest piece of equipment in the game for this stuff right now is 4 rows. So I'm thinking you might actually end up doing some of it like this at least. This would be the easiest way to do it, actually, I think, because then you could have this running solo with a worker, especially if you're on console, and then you could come by with an auto load trailer that can load pallets and pick up the pallets and drive them up to wherever you're storing them. So if I'm on console and playing, actually this is probably the easiest one to do. You'd have to use a worker and run the wagon and have it just be sitting there doing nothing with the other harvester, where at least this guy is still harvesting while you're not doing it. And this is a lot cheaper. That self-propelled one that we had was $600 and some thousand, where this was only like 180, I think, 150 maybe. Can you also wash the new types or do other things with them? I assume you mean the new types of vegetables, like is there a vegetable washer or anything like that? I haven't seen anything like that, sir, and I do appreciate the donation there. But if I look at our production chains, oh, of course I don't have the production chains purchased. Let me see if I can do that real quick. There's a button somewhere in here to purchase all the production chains, if I remember right. Production points, farm owned, oops, set owner to me. And then if we come in here, you can see that we have the preserved food production point, which is going to create these preserved carrots, parsnips, or beetroots. And then we also have the potato chips, which is nothing special. I have the soup factory, so I can bring carrots, parsnips, red beets, and potatoes up here, and I can use this with all 3 of the new crops to build what's called triple soup, or you can build individual soups to sell. So those are the 2 new production chains that are available now, which is kind of cool. And then this guy stops when all of his crates gets full. So I think then I can push Z and have it spit all the boxes off of the back for me. And it'll just roll them all out there, which is nice. And then if you want, you can just push this button to buy 4 new crates for $520. And you're off again and ready to go. And then you don't have to buy new crates if you already have crates, but you would have to have them delivered, right? It didn't give me one of the 4 crates though. It only gave me 3 crates because I had one sitting on that back fender probably. That's really unfortunate because now I'm harvesting and it's trying to put something in the back crate and it doesn't exist. It's a little wonky still. I think there's a few things here that some kinks that Giants is going to have to work out with some of these pieces of equipment. That's unfortunate. But then, yeah, we've got a nice hardy crate of, was it 3,000 liters in a crate? 2,000 liters per crate. So not too bad. Looking good. Most people have been using multiple 4 rows on workers while running the carts. Yeah, and that's, I mean, that's what you'd have to do if you wanted to get it done in any reasonable amount of time, for sure. If you were just playing like a small farm, a 1 row like this with the crates wouldn't be too bad. Because you just set the worker off, let him do his thing, and check in on him every 10 minutes or so. That would be, I think, the fun way to do it, especially if you were, you know, doing something like this with the FarmStick and you wanted to run around with a skid loader or something and pick those up and put them on the trailer and have some fun with those kind of mechanics. I would probably do the crates. I would not use the 1 or 2 row and have to drive alongside it. I would only do that if I was doing the big 4 row. But again, unless you're in multiplayer, you're going to have to use course player auto drive to run more than one of these big harvesters because it doesn't have any capacity. Now, we did buy, and let's just hop into our other tractor that's somewhere around here. We did buy the one with a capacity. I'm curious how big that capacity is. So let's do this. We'll drop this off. There it is. And let's get this one with the capacity. I want to see how long this hopper lasts with these carrots because they're very voluminous. Oh, we messed that up. All right, unfold. And then I probably have a, oh, I've got a button for that too. Do I have a pipe out? I do have a pipe out. And I don't have any other machines over here. Great, we'll do this. Now this is only a 1 row, just like the one we just got out of, so it's not gonna harvest any faster. Unfold the pipe first. I did. Oh, well, that's pipe out. Let's put pipe in. Okay, so this one won't be able to unload on the go, most likely. And lower that down. Jump over here. And let's start the worker off. So this has got a hopper on it, but like, I mean, I'm doing 1 more row. We're gonna fill this hopper up in no time. Root crops are super profitable. That's why all the equipment's 1 to 2 rows. Yeah, that has something to do with it, probably. Farmer Trio, how much longer am I going to stream? Not much longer. I mean, I've been streaming way longer than I usually do, but I just wanted to finish checking out the rest of these, a couple of different configurations on this harvest equipment. So this is going to make a couple of rounds here for us with the hopper the size that it is. I'm kind of curious what size the hopper is in liters. We're at 30% in 1,600. So that'd be 5,000 liters, maybe 6. So this will be smaller than the 4 crate version, I think. From what I've heard, carrot soup is most profitable. Argsy has a video covering the money side. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it. I did drop into their multiplayer stream today and talk to them a little bit and kind of watch what they were doing. But, I mean, they were just ridging a field forever, which is, you know, part of what I don't like about row crop stuff, like, or not row crop, root crop stuff like this, is it's just so slow. This is very fascinating, right? I'm bringing up a whole row of carrots here that you can't even see. But that's just how it works. I'm waiting to see. I think we're going to be 5,000 liters. I think that's how big it is, because I should hit 50% right around 2,500 here. Oh, a little bit more than 5. So yeah, this will be 6,000 then. So 1 crate less than the other one. So this is a smaller capacity than that one. But it is nice to know that there's at least 2 options where you can set it up and let it go, and it'll do its thing without you having to drive alongside it, which is great. Calum, how you doing? Well, welcome to the stream. And if I just hop back here one more time, I just want to click through these again. We've got this one, which is the crate-based model. I'm almost positive. This one, which is the drive alongside it model. This one that we're testing right now is the hopper model. Oops. And then we had, this was the 2-row drive beside model. And then this was the crate model. All right, so we've got a good feel for how these work now. Yeah, the crops work on all maps. You just need to own the Premium Expansion, which you can get 2 ways. You can either buy it as a standalone DLC, or if you have the Season 2 pass, Year 2 pass, you're going to get this as the last DLC in the season, the Year 2 Season Pass. And we're doing carrots here. There's also parsnips and beets, which it all uses the same equipment and looks the same. It's just a matter of a different texture. Oh, it's not quite 6,000. It's only 55. And it does stop and raise this up to be emptied all on its own. Let me figure out where our... Oh, this guy's busy. Let's grab... Oh, I didn't even notice. We've got a different truck here. That's cool. Oh my goodness, that sounds horrible. I love it. Oh, let's go in here. Super basic interior, but that's all right. I love this thing. This is awesome. It's zippy too. I'm trying to bring it over here. We're gonna grab the other trailer with the truck. This thing is hilarious. I could have probably used this little tractor to do this. Oops. I'm a little bit too close to the tractor. I don't know if the truck is going to be able to pull this trailer, actually, now that I think about it. No, it's not. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was really looking forward to trying that. I mean, I could mod it, obviously, to do that, but... Look at that. I love it. Alright, let's see if this thing's useful for anything. Oops. Wow, we really messed that up. Still getting used to the buttons sometimes myself. There we go. We're gonna gear this up. There's the cover key has gotten reset on me from what I like it to be. That's all right. High range. Here we go. I think we're at the other end. I love this thing. I think my mower at home is bigger than this. I wonder how it'll do once I get it full of stuff. Woohoo! Look at it go. The self-propelled harvester, can you hit unload here and run it? Good question, Kyle. I'll go test that. Oh yeah, this thing will do it at full speed too. I could actually see myself getting one of these. This is so much fun. Woo! All right, let's go test and see if it'll dump on ground. I don't know if that'll work because it unloads when you're just driving with it, and it doesn't go on the ground. It's just going wherever. So it's not like I have an eye to unload. It doesn't work like a normal combine. But I do have the Control I Unload Here option on the menu, so it's worth giving it a shot. We're going to spin all the way around and go in the middle of this field over here, or right here. We'll follow this edge down so we can actually see the crop. And we'll turn it on. And it's harvesting now, right? Nope, we got to lower it. Okay, now we're harvesting. And I'm going to Control I. See, it says stop unloading, which means I'm in unloading mode. It will. Look at that. So if you want to spit it out on the ground and pick it up later with something else, you're going to be able to do that. Which is realistic. I know they do this with potatoes. They have the rakes or whatever that'll dig them out of the ground and just put them up on top and like push them all into a pile in the middle. Now the question is, if I do this and then I'm gonna turn around and get that other equipment, where'd it go? Will this thing stop? Will this thing do it? Will it pick it up? I mean, not throw it on the ground, but can I? Where was that trailer? There it is. I'm gonna unload this real quick. Pipe out. And I'm gonna try and pick that stuff off of the ground with the harvester here. Okay. That's unloaded. Over here we go. Fire that up, lower that down. This will not pick up the parsnips. Well, I'm not lined up very well. This will not pick up the parsnips off of the ground though, so I know some of the potato mods that I used would be able to do this. They'd be able to pick this up off of the ground when doing it, but not so much here. But that's all right. I like it. Load them into the back of the truck, see if that works. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, I see what you mean. Into the back of the little truck. Does this have a capacity back here? That's a great question. Let's go grab it and find out. I'm gonna go to the F1. Does this have an unfold option? It does. I think I left this thing running. I don't know if I have it in worker mode though. Let me make sure I've got Control I, stop unloading, worker on. Yeah, I'm not, he doesn't start moving when I get under him, so I'm thinking that's a no-go. I don't think this thing's got any real capacity to it. I'll try one more time just in case I didn't do a great job of lining up, but I should pretty much have to just be where this pile was, where he was dumping. So, no dice on that one. Good deal. Will the maws pick up vegetables? That's under here, right? Is it this? I am pretty sure this only does sugar beets, because I don't think this even does potatoes, right? I'm sure somebody's going to add a mod for that. But, well, I'm going to have to get some of this stuff out of the way, I suppose. You can lower the arm on the harvester. What's the carrot planter look like? The carrot planter looks... Well, here's the ridger that creates, excuse me, the ridges. And then this is the carrot planter. This is the bigger one, which is a whole 6 rows and has these little tiny hoppers. We did a bunch of planting at the beginning of the stream. Oh, excuse me. All right. I am 99% sure this isn't going to work because it's not listed on the crops that it's able to interact with list. And I've not used this thing in a long time. I have no idea what it's doing right now. All right. Turn on loading, lower. Control I to unload here, just because. Everything's spinning. Yeah, it's not going to pick this stuff up. So there you go. Now you know. Under miscellaneous, the one you got is just for beets. Oh, there's one that'll do all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's still not listed here, though, so I'm going to say most likely no. We'll just pull it out of the way. We can test it real quick, though. I don't mind. It's not like I've got to drive real far for it, so. Bum, bum, bum. On, lower, unload here, driving forward. No dice. So, yep, not so much luck there. All right, well, I don't know that I've got a lot else that I wanted to test out in tonight's stream. We've gone for, oh my goodness, almost 3 hours now. And I feel like we've gotten a pretty good handle on what's available for these new crop types. And we got to look around the map. We drove around and hit a good chunk of the map today, so that's been a lot of fun. Tanner, no, I didn't get a chance to check out the farmalls because for whatever reason, even though they show as installed, they don't show up in the mod selection list when I'm creating a new game right now. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but they're getting loaded in my log file, but they don't show up in game. So I've got to track that down. I think it's because I'm on the early access branch, and that's why they're not working. I'm not sure though. I haven't seen anybody else using the farmalls on their Poland saves, the other content creators yet, and so I think it's because I'm on early access, because those released publicly for everybody today. So you can buy them, they're $1.50, and you can see them. In fact, yeah, I can't switch easily because this isn't even the Steam version of the game. It is the early access Giants version of the game, so that's why I think it's broken for me. But no, they're not there. We checked quite a bit, Tanner. The mod is there. If you look here, I've got them installed, but they don't show up in game. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap up the stream here tonight. It's been an absolute blast hanging out, checking all this stuff out. I appreciate the comments, the help, and all of the questions tonight. If you are interested in pre-ordering this, you've got a couple days left to save a whole $1. And it'll release on the 14th of November. And there's links in the description of my live stream, both for pre-ordering the premium expansion, or if you're interested in any of the Thrustmaster stuff that I was showing off today. There's links in the description for that. You can go check out all the details on the Thrustmaster site. And then I've also got some links to the Amazon store. If you want to help support the channel, you can use the Amazon link, and I get a couple bucks for that. However, that's all up to you. I can only share my own experiences with all the equipment and stuff. Both of these things launch on November 14th. The Thrustmaster stuff is lined up to go out with the premium expansion. So, yeah, exciting times next week if you're interested in any of this. And I think that's going to be all for today. Hopefully now do 2 hours of UMRV. I will be back to UMRV tomorrow night. I'm going to record episodes. Hopefully we'll have something out for Monday. We'll see how it goes. But for today, I'm all done. I will not be streaming again tomorrow. I've got too many things to catch up on tomorrow. But we'll see next week. I'd like to get back to streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we'll see if I can get back on Tuesday and Thursday next week for some more streams. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And that's all for today. Ketterk out.